Okay, it looks like we're live. So, welcome back. Today, I'm going to be doing more stuff with Cellular Automaton. Which, yeah, I probably mispronounced it. That's okay. Yeah, so basically, yeah. I did do an update on my system yesterday, and it seemed to have broke stuff, so my OBS was not working. I think I got it fixed now, partially at least. But yeah, so if stuff is not quite right, that is why. Yeah. That's what happens when you use an unstable distribution. Yeah, anyway, I'm going to be doing more stuff with that. Yeah. This is just going to be a one-off thing, but I enjoyed doing it, so I would like to do some more stuff. And implement some more cellular automaton, other than just Game of Life. And also, kind of make it better. Because I was thinking of a better way to do this, rather than using a switch statement and stuff. We can just use indexes of an array, and I think that could be interesting, and it would make it easier to add more onto it, if that makes any sense. Yeah, so that's what I'm going to do. So, yeah, first of all, yeah, so that'd be pretty easy. Basically, you can just make an array of the states. It can be called Game of Life. Yeah, so, it can be a two-dimensional array. So we're going to have 8 total, and the length is going to be 8. Yeah, we're going to have 2 of these. So it'll be something like this, and we'll have 2 different ones. So for alive and dead. Because we can actually use these as the indexes in the array. So 0 would be dead, and 1 would be alive. Yeah, so then we just need to add all the states. So we have to do all 8 of them. But basically it can just correspond to the rules. So if we read the rules again, for the dead one, that's the first one, we can just put in the state that it would become given the certain index. Because this corresponds to the neighbors, and this is the current state of it. So hey, the rules are up here, actually. Oh yeah, any dead cell. This is the only time when something else happens with dead, so all of them can be dead. Going all the way up to 8. Actually, I'm thinking it needs to be 9, so we need the 0 as well. Let's see. Nice cellular automation. Not cellular automation, but automaton. Very similar words, though. Yeah, so 8, and there we go. So like that, and then with the third one, so 0, 1, 2, 3, that is this. Hang on. Yeah, 3. So this is when there is 3 neighbors. It becomes alive. And with alive, it's a bit different. So any live cell with fewer than 2 live neighbors dies. Okay, yeah, so it's dead, dead, so that is fewer than 2. And then alive, with more than 3 live neighbors dies. And then anyone with 2 or 3. So alive and alive, that's for 2 and 3. And then the rest are dead. Dyslexia is kicking. Yep, nice. Not nice, but you know what I mean. I get the words mixed up as well. I think that's the right amount of thing. So, yeah, I think that's basically the rules then, and we can use this as an index in the array. So instead of this, we can set new grid ij.state equals Game of Life, and then we use the index in an array. So we have the current state. So we need to set get the current state of this one. So grid ij.state. And then for the second one, we use the neighbor count, so alive count. And that will set, assuming I do everything right, that should function the same. Which I probably did some stuff wrong, but when using React, and it was the biggest BS I ever made. Really, was it that bad? React, that's quite interesting. Grid undeclared. Okay, so I messed that up. Let's see, because it's not called grid anymore. Should be called grid. Shoot. Did I get rid of the grid? Here's the grid. Oh, shoot, I forgot a semicolon. Yeah, React does kind of suck sometimes. So it should function the same now. If I go over here and open it up. Build it again and run it. Alright, let me make it smaller. Let's do 25 by 12. That should be a good amount to see it. Okay. Can't tell if that's right. It's kind of fast, though. I should have looked at it before just to make sure. Let's see, I can try it out with the glider, though. So I can run it and use glider, and we just have a single glider. I don't know if that's right. Doesn't look quite right to me. But it also might be going too slow. Yeah, and let me actually go ahead and put it back how it was, and then sort of compare them, because I don't remember exactly how it looked. Let's see. I don't really want to get rid of that, though, so let me... Oops, and now I cannot redo it. So, yeah. Yeah, let me just copy this before I do anything. What are you trying to do? So instead of using a switch statement for this, I'm trying to use indexes in an array, essentially, is what I'm trying to do based on things. And then it'll be easier to add more cellular automaton. That is the goal. Like different types of it. Okay, yeah, so I want to you make Game of Life as soon as I read Cellular Automaton. Well, yeah, so I did that yesterday, actually, the Game of Life part. So this is, I'm sort of abstracting some things away. Yes, yeah, and then I want to look into, like, seeds and some other ones as well. Okay, yeah, I want to get rid of this. And then, do that. And put this back. Okay, something like that. Okay, now it should compile, and then if I run it, I want to see. So that's how it looks. So I think it did look right. I think it was right. So now, if I comment this out, it looks pretty much exactly the same. Should at least. Okay. Yeah, I think that's the same. So I think it worked then. Yeah, so that is much simpler now. Not without the big switch statement. Terms Game of Life in HTMX. Yeah, you probably could do that, right? Okay. Yeah, so that is the main thing that I wanted to do with that. Yeah, because now it's much simpler, and I can easily update it based on the number of neighbors that it has and the current state. And we could also add more states as well if I wanted to do that. Okay. This, I think I can use copy as well. I just didn't do that because I wasn't sure if it was working. So this, I want new grid, and then I need size of cell times height times width. I'm pretty sure that would work, right? HTMX is for server interaction more than anything. Maybe. I've not tried it, so I don't know. I guess so. Okay, yeah, so that looks like it still works then. And then I should be able to do that down here as well. Copying them back and forth. Trying to search for a goal pattern every iteration. How do you mean exactly? Oh, a Game of Life pattern. Is that what? That's what you meant. I don't quite understand the question. Okay. Well, so that works then. And that is better. Okay. So then what I want to do is try seeds. Yeah. Google Stack from our websites now. What stack is that? I don't know anything about stacks and stuff, like what big companies are using. So I think the rules of this are pretty simple. Go plus lit. What is lit? I know what go is. Okay. So basically, I think the rules are new cell is born when it has 2 live neighbors, and then all other ones die. I think that is that. So this can be Game of Life. So if I want to use Game of Life, let me make this a bit simpler for now. And just use the basic thing like this. For now. Okay. So yeah. Then the command line arguments don't do anything. And yeah, I changed the name. That's what I was trying to change actually. So let's see. It might not build actually because the other ones as well. So I need to update all of them. Just don't make websites anymore. My life has never been better than it is now. Well, that's good. I'm not a big fan of making websites either. So web component-based JavaScript framework that compiles to HTML elements that can make your HTML files better. Okay. I've not heard of it, so don't know much about it. Okay. So now it works, and there we go. So that is just regular style. It's not very big though. That doesn't matter. So now I want to try seeds. So maybe I don't even need to do that. Maybe I don't need to, and I could just pass whichever one we want to use. I think that could work. Yeah, just pass an array like that. So it's sort of the state. And this is the automaton. I cannot spell. I think it's, let's see. I think it's like that. Here, it's in my title. Automaton. Okay, yes. That is right then. Okay, so that, and it's two-dimensional array, so it's 2 and 9. For this, it's going to change, and we'll have to make it a bit more generic. But for now, that'll work then. And then I can pass that in here. And use that right there. Okay. And then it doesn't have to be renamed, and we can reuse it. Okay. Yeah, so I can still use that, but pass the thing of life in there. And that should work. Shoot, and now that doesn't exist, so everywhere I changed it. There we go. Okay, it should compile, and it should work. Okay. There we go. I like doing backend for websites, and I am enjoying using HTMX, Go, and Lint because it focuses more on Go and HTML than in JavaScript. Yeah, JavaScript is not very good. The backend is more fun than front-end stuff, I think, as well. Okay, yeah, so seeds. I should be able to basically just, whoops, make another one for seeds. It's gonna be the same size because it has dead and alive states. And so when it's dead, I think that basically, yeah, so new cell is born when it has 2 live names. So that's right here, alive, and then the rest are dead for every single one. If I understand correctly. I might be misunderstanding, but I'm pretty sure. Pretty sure that is what it means. So then pass seed in there, and let's see what happens. So compile. Okay. I think I need to make it bigger to really see. So yeah, I can make it like 150. 590. Alright, let's see how that looks. So, I don't know if that's right. Let's see, what is like a starting point? Or something like this. Is this a thing that happens? I could like initialize one of those. So, in a similar way to the glider that I have. But it's only 2, so yeah, instead of init grid with 1, I'll do 0, so it'll just be a blank grid, all dead. And then I want to set this. So we don't have offset, so I can do that. I'm going to do it sort of in the middle though. Maybe not quite the middle, but 10 and 10 and 10. Let's see, and so what do I need to set it exactly? So yeah, 10 and 0, and then 11 and 1. I believe. Okay, let's see if that looks like stuff. Alright, and there's something that's moving back and forth there. I think that's not quite right. Maybe I should move it out of it. So maybe 5 and 6. Alright, let's see how that looks. Okay, and is that what it looks like here? It's moving back and forth, so I think so. Okay. So, something like this. What is like a starting one? Like the glider in Game of Life is pretty easy to initialize. Let's see, so that's how seed looks. Maybe I should initialize it random again. Got too many things open now. Okay, there we go. Yeah, let me try this. Quality dropped to 0. Oh yeah, from all the stuff. The bit rate, apologize for that. That is something that happens. Okay. Is it still? Here, let me get all that stuff off screen. Is it still bad? Because usually the bitrate dies when there's a lot of stuff on the screen like that. Is it fine now, like in the editor like this, or is it still bad? Very bad. Not now. Okay, yeah, so it was because of that. That is kind of what happens. I can't do much about that. I could zoom in something. Now I'm going to make it smaller though, so that it's a bit better. 20 by 10 should be good. Okay, yeah. If it's a bit larger, maybe it will work a bit better, but it's still gonna kind of be like that. So is that how it's supposed to look? It's kind of just moving like that. So, what if... Hello, Buford, how are you doing? I could make it, slower as well. Maybe you could see a bit more of what's going on. Let me compile it. So, yeah, I mean, it doesn't die out, and I think it's not supposed to. I think that's how it works. Like, it's supposed to, like, expand a lot. So let me put, like, 2 right next to each other, and see how that looks. Initialize it, with that. Formatted your server reinstalling again? Reinstalling the operating system? Is that what you mean? So I guess that just dies if we do it like that. Or I did something wrong. It's probably not large enough for that anymore. What is... yeah, the height is that. So... maybe I should have just used height divided by 2, but whatever. There we go. Yeah, and that... I think that is pretty much how it's supposed to look. Yeah, it just kind of gets crazy, you know? Okay. Yeah, and that looks more or less like this. Maybe I could try another one of these. It's hard to tell when it moves so much, but... yeah, so that one worked. I could try this one as well. So yeah, 1, 2... yeah, I could do that. So, stop running this, and then initialize it like that. So yeah, I'll just use here width 1 by 2. Actually, height, rather. Okay. And then for this, we need one that is the second row. That is the first one, and that's at 0. Well, I'll put it at 5. 5 will be the 0, so it'll be, you know, because I don't want to initialize it right at 0, because then it's hard to see. And then another one that's on the first row, so that is this one, so plus 0. Like that. Obviously doesn't do anything, but whatever. And then at 2, so 6 is good. And then this will be plus 2, and we want 7. Yeah, something like that, I think is right. I think that's how it looks. Okay, and that... is that right? I think I initialized it wrong. It does move like this one. I've done it wrong. It's hard to tell when it's moving so much, but it does stuff that looks like that. So I think it is working. I think so. Okay. Yeah, so basically what I'm... whoops, did not mean that. Basically what I'm thinking is basically make it this, and then you can, once you run it, you can pass a bunch of different arguments for what you want. So you could pass like seeds if you want that. You could do like dash width is 150, height is 150 as well, so stuff like that, you know, where you pass all the arguments that you want, and then it's a customized version of it, essentially. Maybe eventually it could even become like a 2E application. I've never really built one of those before, so that could be interesting. Yeah, that could be a fun thing to do, perhaps. So yeah, let me see what other cellular automaton are there. Let's see. Yeah, I forgot to actually research which one I want to use other than seeds, because that was the only one I knew about. Other than, there's also like rule 110, but I think that works a bit differently. I want ones that are similar to this, maybe with more states even, but a similar concept where it's just the 8 neighbors, if that makes any sense. Let's see. Where's like a list of them? Alright, turn complete. Okay. Yeah, rule 110. Yeah, and I think that is not quite the same. It's a cellular automaton that works differently. Yeah, it's one-dimensional. Yeah, I want the 2-dimensional ones. Yeah, because you only have a single array like that. So that's not the same. So what other ones are like this? Let me just, cellular automata, like, game of life. I meant to do this before the stream. But then I was having technical issues, so that is why I did not. Okay, maybe this has a link to some Wikipedia. Cellular automaton, maybe there is a good list here. Let me search for, like, seeds. We have that. Alright, here is some. Ryan's Brain, I think I've heard of that one. Yeah. Okay, this one has more states, right? Yeah, it has a dying state. So, that one could be interesting. Yeah, and it does weird stuff like that. So that could be interesting. Okay. Yeah, 3 states. Ready, firing, and dying. Refractory. That's a weird word, but okay. Off, on, and dying. Okay, so yeah, to do that, we need to add another state. Don't need to worry about it with these, though. Like, I think if I just add it here, it shouldn't, change anything. Dying. How did I mess up that guy? Dying. Alright, and it still should compile and everything like that. Yeah. Nothing should break. Yeah. Alright, so, then I just need, so where's the rules? Cell turns on if it was off, but had exactly two neighbors that were on. Okay, all cells that were on go to dying state, which is not counted as an on cell in the neighbor count. Okay, yeah, so, I think we're going to need to use a different one here. Or maybe I could expand this and just sort of ignore it if it's, maybe. Okay, cells that were on go into dying state. Okay. Cells that were in the dying state go to the off state. Okay. Yeah, so basically I need to program these rules in. So, okay. It's not counted as an on cell. Prevents any cell from being born there. Okay. Yeah, so, let's see. How would the rules for this look? Not sure if it'll work the same way, but something like this. So, this needs to be grain. Yeah, so we have a third one now. It has the same amount of states, though, because we're only looking at the neighbors around it. Cell turns on if it was off, but had exactly two neighbors. So that is the same as this. So a lie. Okay. All cells that were on going in dynamic state. Okay. Alright, so is that it then? I'm not sure exactly. Let me try that then. I do need a different way to initialize it though. Because I only set some, well, I guess if it's alive, then they'll become dying. So it might be fine. I don't know, let's see what happens. So if I pass brain, B-brain, maybe I should call it. Yeah, and I want to initialize it with the brand new stuff. And let's see what happens. So, excess elements. Shoot. Oh, shoot, because I forgot to update them. Okay, did it reconnect? Is it back now? It looks like it's back on my end. Is it back? Appears to be back for me. No one is saying anything though. It did go out. I apologize for that. Okay, it's back on my end. Okay, I think it's good again. Stream elements went off. Okay. So that must mean it's back. Yes. Okay, I'm gonna assume so. Yes, because it's back for me. I can see it. Yeah, I don't know what happened. OBS just decided to disconnect. Yeah, sorry about that. Okay, so yeah, that did the same thing as that. I also don't have a way to print dying state, so that is something I did not consider. So I can do that. Maybe this should be a switch thing, I think. Dot state. Yeah, so case of alive, case of dead, and case, oops, I'll do the last case of dying. Yeah, so this one I will do this. For this, can do that. And then here, I need, dying state. So, dying. Okay. Yeah, so I just need to add one of these. Dying. So it can just be whatever, F in the chat. Okay. And it died. Why does that not work? Oh, shoot, it's because of that. Okay, that is why. So this needs to be, what did it call it here? Let's see. Dying. Okay, refractor. I don't want to call it that. Almost dead. Yeah. This is still dying, but then I want to print out almost dead. Okay. Recompiling, and this does not work. Oh, I forgot the break. Yep. Don't want it to fall through. Okay. Alright, yeah, so I never see any dying state, so I think I did it wrong. Because I forgot to change it to dying. So any time it's alive, it's going to be dying. So I can replace dead with dying right here. That is what I wanted to do. Okay. Yeah, and then it ends. Because they all die. So let me try doing this. Alright, it all just dies off, so I think it's not right. Oh, that's interesting. What are some, let's see, oscillator. So this is, let's see, what is white? I'm assuming white is on, blue is dying. So I could try to initialize one of those. Would not be very hard. So there's just a 2x2 on, and then in the corners, okay, yeah, I can try to do that. Alright. I might need to make this a little bigger, because now there's not really a lot of space. Maybe make it like 15 by 30. Okay. So, yeah, now it's going to be larger. Okay. So, going to need a few more of these. So, there's going to be 4 and 4. So, there's 8 total. Alright. So, we need 4 that are alive. The rest are dying. Okay, something like that. And then, so let me start just from an, well, this is fine actually. So +1, can just be +0, and then we need a +1. Watch that can be, this can be +1 then. And 5 and 6, and then 5 and 6. So that is the alive ones. And then to the left of the second row, whoops, right here, +1. And then 1 less, so 4. And then 1 to the right on the +0, so that'd be 7, so that is right. And then 1 above it, so that is the plus, let's see, so that's -1. -1 and then 5. And then this will be 6, but +2. Yeah, I think that is right. So now if I recompile it and run it, is that how it looks? It's kind of hard to tell with this. Maybe I should use some different symbols. Maybe like that and that. See how that looks. Okay. Ooh, that is interesting. Is that the same pattern? It looks like it to me. It's hard to tell without the colors though. But I think so. Yeah, that looks like it is working. So how do you make one that does this stuff? I think it probably needs to be larger. So yeah, it's gonna destroy the bitrate again. I'm gonna make it a bit larger. And yeah, just initialize it random. Yeah, and I will comment these out. I think this is still useful, so I'll probably step it down into a function. But yeah, I'm gonna need to zoom. Let's see. Okay. Ooh. So that does some interesting stuff. Looks pretty similar to this, actually. Yeah, with like these glider things going on. Yeah, probably not good for the bitrate though. Yeah, but I think that is right then. So I think I got that working. So that's pretty cool. Alright. So, yeah, I'll take this and make it function like this. So emit how was it called? Oscillator. Yeah, we can find an offset as well. Similar to this. Okay. So, yeah, instead of height divided by 2, we'll use the offset. Right, divided by 2, and replace that with offset. Okay, and then we need offset here as well. So, yeah, I think I can do something like this. Maybe not. Okay, that's not gonna work actually. Okay, I can replace that in that. Okay. Alright, that's too hard. Yeah, I'm just not gonna worry about that right now. Just need the offset for that one. That's fine. That is fine. Okay, yeah, and then I can just pass one of those init oscillator with 5, and it will create one. Oops. If I do that, okay, we'll create one like that. There we go. Yes, that works. Okay. So pretty much now I want to make it so you can control a lot of these from the command line. When you run it. So basically, the structure of the command. So I'm gonna take this usage and modify it. So then you have the type. So for now, I can just list all of them. So yeah, we could have game of life, or seeds, or brain. Call it B brain. Okay. So that is that. So that is the first argument, and then the rest can be with flags, probably. So I don't know about the width yet. So then we'll have let's see. What would? Yeah. So the width can do that. Do I want to pass? I don't even want to pass like that because right now it's a macro, and that makes it a bit more confusing. So I'm not gonna worry about that yet. But then we have if you want to randomly initialize it. So you just do -R. Yeah, have not made command line arguments like this. So I don't remember exactly how you would list that. Like if it's an optional flag. But it's fine. Alright, so -R if you want it to be randomly initialized, or if you want it to just have what you pass. And then just the O, so that can be like options, sure. Glider, and what is the other thing called? Oscillator. And it should probably also add the one for seeds, but that is fine for now. So yeah, that is sort of what it's going to look like when you run it. Okay, yeah, so I can get rid of this. All of these. Build this. Shoot, actually I got rid of this one now, so that's not good. Get rid of it. There we go. So that is the default I hit. Alright, so yeah, and then the one that you pick is gonna influence what happens basically. Main that. Okay, and that is how it's supposed to look. So the first argument is going to be that. So if you don't pass any arguments, then we want to just do the default. Okay, so if RC is less than 2, so yeah, that's if you don't pass anything, then we will just do default. So yeah, maybe we'll set flags in here, so like integers. So yeah, maybe I will declare them all here. So this is the automaton, and by default it'll be 0. Well, I could make a switch statement for that even. Not a switch statement, right? Enumerator. Automaton. So this is like the selected one. Okay, so we have game of life, which is the default one. And then we have seeds and brain. Okay. Yeah, and then I can add more pretty easily as well. So yeah, by default it will be set to game of life. Do I need to do that really? Okay, and then what is the other one? So the other one is int random is 0 by default. Okay, and that can just be that. And then this is the int option, but this could be, you could do either, like you could do them both. So it's gonna need to be like an array. So 2 equals, let's see, I don't really know how I want to do that. Well, I can just do int glider 0, and then int, and then I can make it better later. So actually, I don't even need to check that. Yeah, and then we have this. So if you just run default, then this is what happens. Otherwise, the first argument should be either game of life. So that's actually this as well. Or string compare argv1 game of life equals 0. And I messed that up badly, so okay. Yeah. My bad. Alright, something like that. Okay, default and get that. Okay, and then this will be seeds. So if you want to do seeds. Okay. Yeah, so I'm not really using these flags now. so maybe I didn't need them. But later on, it will be helpful. Okay, or beeping. We want to initialize it with, okay, yeah, so Nick grid 1, don't need a glider, Nick grid 1. Alright, and then within these, we can check the sub arguments to set them. Okay, so really, maybe this should go into its own thing. Because I want to check these ones, well, this one at least separately, so maybe I should do that. Because otherwise I have to check that first every time, which is not ideal. So, yeah. Compare. Okay, RB1 is 0. Okay, yeah, and then it's gonna be the same thing, except we're gonna have an extra check. So it's not great, but I can make it better later. Okay, so yeah, so then in here, we need to check more arguments. So I still have to check it. So maybe that wasn't even. So maybe I should think about this a different way. And actually use these flags, and then do all this at the end based on whatever the flags are. Because we could use init grid with random. The glider and oscillator is a bit different though. Okay, well first of all, random. Okay, so let me check it differently. I think I can use that and then just shift it. Yeah, shift it and then let me try that actually. Yeah. So basically I could do program equals RB plus 1, something like that. Is that how it works? Well, it's really plus 0, right? Or I could just do that. Plus 0 just makes it kind of clear what it is. So I think I'm going to do. Does that actually compile if I do that? On these variables, but it does compile. And then we print the program and make sure it works. So if I run that, then I can't see what it prints because I cleared the screen. So let me not do that. Okay, so that does work then. And then if I do plus 1, then I just have to check if it's null. So this can be automaton. Okay, so that's gonna set it then to a string. So that's gonna be a bit different. So then I need to actually check the strings. Yeah, let me print out automaton, and it's gonna be null right now. So this is actually gonna cycle. Oh, or it does that. So, I need to do is, whoops. Let's see. Yeah, so then we cycle. But if I pass something, so like that, there we go. Alright, yeah, so I just need to check if it's null. Okay, if automaton equals null equals null, and for now I just exit null. Okay. So yeah, and then I can probably find a better way to do it once I get it all written down. Okay, and then we can have so what is next? Yeah, the flag is that. The flag equals b plus 1. And then we need to basically switch statement on the flag. And then I think we can use a while loop for that actually. So while arg b plus 1 is not equal to null. Do this. Shoot, I need to actually do arg plus plus, right? So that actually iterates it. Or plus equals 1. Can you do plus plus? I think that'll work. Yeah, this still needs to be plus 1 because I don't want to iterate it there. Okay. Stream is dying, I think. I think it's still going, but it is... Bitrate is dead. Uh-huh. Okay. Yeah. It might die again. Okay. So, that's the flag. And then we can just do stuff with the flag. So if Let's see, I don't think we have to check if it's null, because we checked that already. Flag with, HR. Then we just want to set random equal to true. So I need to actually move random up here. Okay. And then, else if, and compare flag. Let's see, so it's not really a flag now. Yeah, well, if it's dash O, then we need to get all the arguments after it. Yeah, so dash O, then we need another argument. So basically another loop for each one of the arguments. Okay. From here, though, we can do else, and then print the usage. So, I'll make a function for that. Which just does this. Alright, okay. So, yeah, that is something then. And in here, yeah, I'll just do another one, same as that, plus 1, not equal to 1. And we just need to compare it. Yeah, so it's kind of a lot of nesting stuff. There's probably a better way to do that. Yeah, can fix it later. Yeah, I've said that a lot of times. So if it is, it's not really a flag anymore. So we need to actually get the flag. And then this is just the parameter, or option. Option is that. And then compare the option with glider. And then else if, and compare. Option with oscillator. Else usage. Okay, and then in here we need to set glider equal to 1. And, actually, so we know that it's not going to be null, right? So we could maybe even set it equal to that. Glider equals string compare. Option glider equals 0. Yeah, because I would set it to 1 or 0. So I think I could do that. And then the same thing with oscillator. And then you can check if glider equals, well, if not glider and not oscillator, then we can print the usage. Like that. Okay, something like that. So, that's pretty much all of the ones that I want to set. So I need to grab these, move them up here, and then we need to actually set the automaton based on whatever is entered. So yeah, basically the same thing as this, but within here. So, how do I want to do that? Could even, for now, I can just have a series of if statements, probably. But I could also probably use an array thing. For now, I won't do that, though. Yeah, okay, automaton with game of life. And then, else if, automaton with seeds. Else if, automaton with, no, what was the other one called? B-brain. Okay, I think it's back now. Maybe not. Let's see. Okay, I think we're going in. Yeah, so it just died again. Seems to be back, though. Alright, yeah, sorry about that. Again. Okay. Yeah, I don't know if it's my internet dying or what is happening. Okay, so, what was I doing? So I moved, yeah, so I got that for the automaton now. So they're all set. Okay, so let me see if it compiles at all. So where are all the problems? That's actually a lot of stuff. So automaton is not set because this needs to be input. And actually I wanted to move this up here. That is something that I needed to do. Okay, let's see what else. That is an int. Okay, yeah, I don't need to print it out anymore, so it's fine. This variable program. Oh shoot. So I need to actually pass that in here. Like this. So whenever I do usage, I can just query replace that actually. Usage with usage program. There we go. Okay. On automaton is set for not used. That's okay because we're not using that yet. Argument 2. Null. We're non-null expect. Okay, so I messed that up actually. What line is that on? 157. Yeah, so I need that. There we go. And I did the same thing here actually, so fix that. Alright. Let's see. Okay, now it just has that here, so let's see. Alright, so I should be able to provide everything, and it should print them all out. So let me print out the current automaton, random glider, and oscillator, and I can try a few things. Okay, so build that and run it. Give it play. Yeah, so these need to actually be optional, so I need to consider that. Okay, but yeah, for now I can do R-O. Okay, so that's not good. Okay, yeah, so it's not working, right? Okay, if not that. So that's only if we provide that. So else, we can just continue. Continue. Okay. Okay, so where else do I do that? So this continues. Alright, so this, I don't think is failing. So in here as well, I have that. But that is only if we pass the dash O flag. So without the dash O flag, it should be running. But it doesn't. So this must be failing. This might not work. I think I need to do plus entry. So let me actually... Alright, yeah, because then that will iterate before. So, if I run that and do apply. Okay, there we go. And that is better. And R, so randomly set to 1. If I do seeds, in that case it's still 1 as well. And then if I do dash O, shoot, it's supposed to fail when I do that. If I pass dash O. Shoot, I don't want an else up here. I think. You can do this. No, I want to do that. Let's say false. Maybe I could even just do that and then not iterate this. Oops. I just passed dash main though. I want to, yeah, then it just gets set to the default stuff, right? No, it just exit with 1, actually, is what happens. So, this seg false, why is that seg false? So I want this to... Alright, that says both of them, but not both of them. So that's not good. So... okay. Okay. Shoot, but we need to set... We need 2 options. Yeah, right now you can only set either or. Okay. So, what is that? That iterates it. That's fine. Does not equal null. Then do that. Print the usage. if +1 plus 1 usage. Alright, and then I don't need this. Okay, so that is better. Now I just need to be able to pass both of them. So why does that not work? We set the option. Maybe I can even do this. That option. And then set the option again. Shoot, okay, that is actually why. So that's not gonna work the way I'm doing. Because I'm resetting it. So actually, it was doing what I thought it was doing. Yeah, but I can't set it twice, because it goes through again and then sets this one to 0. So that's why that happens. So, I can't really set it like that. Okay. Yeah, so what can I do about that? Okay. I mean, I guess I can just check if not glider. I don't really like that. But for now, I'll do that. Okay. So then it actually breaks, so that's not good. Yeah, because I need to do plus like that. There we go. Okay. Then it sets them all. It's just that's one. Okay. So that is good then. Yeah. Alright, so that just sets the default. Let's see. Well, it just exit actually. Okay. So now I want to do it using all of that. So I want to set with grid with random. And then I want to do gliders. So just do if glider. If glider. And you cannot pass anything to it right now, so I'll just use 0. I'll just use 5 by default actually. Maybe I'll do width divided by 2. Okay, and then the same thing for if oscillator. Okay, init oscillator. Okay. Even though they're for different things, like you might want to see what they do in each different one. That is why you can do both of them. Okay, and then we don't need any of this. So then we can just do that. And the only thing that we have to do is actually set the current one based on whatever was chosen. So, you know, if it's game of life, we want to use game of life, all that stuff. So get rid of that entirely. Okay, so right now this will just that's okay. Okay, so I did that. I want to actually do game of life. With random. Okay, so that does work. And I can actually do not random and do glider. Like that. And it did not work. So why did it not initialize the glider? I want to do 5. There we go. Yeah, that was weird. So why did it... okay. Yeah, maybe I'll just use 5 for now. I can change it later. Because really I would like the user to be able to choose the offset, but, you know. I think it was actually out of bounds. Because the width was messed up, so that is probably why. Okay. So now I just need to set this. So I need, like, a pointer to it. To the current state. So, how can I do that? Can I have, like, a... current state. Like that. Does that work? Invalid initializer. So, I wanted to, like, point to it, basically. How can I do that? So how can I do that? Basically a pointer to the array. That needs to be 9. how can I do that? What if I have something wrong? That's not what I want exactly. I don't know if I can put a type like this, so let me something like that. And then I can reason about it better. Curve. So that's not how that works. Let's state doesn't exist. Alright, and then can I set this to a curve? I want it to be that. Invalidating. Yeah, so that doesn't that doesn't quite work. Hang on, let me see actually. That work? No. Can't pass it like that. Okay. That is something. Does that work then? Okay. And then if I just have a, should I have a switch statement, or I can instead use arrays, right? Because it's either 0, 1, or 2. So then, basically the array of these, and this is games. Sure, I'll call it that. Like this. And they are all that. Basically. It's actually not how I want it. So this is not 9. It's like that. That doesn't work. Okay, and then can I just use the index of that? So equals games, state. So, tell me more time. What did I call it? Can I just use that, actually? No, that doesn't work, because it needs to be an array of things. What if I do it like that? Games is undeclared. Why is it undeclared? This needs an equal sign. Okay. Maybe that won't work. Let's set that one. Yeah, so that's not gonna quite work. I'll just use a switch statement for now. Okay. Yeah, so just a switch on the, what am I doing? So case of go, case of, the break, case of seeds, break, and case of the break. Break. Okay, and just set, say equals, equals, what is it? Let's go. That's what I want. Let's go. I'm gonna decide to go by default. Game of play. And this will be seeds and grain. Okay, so let's see what happens. Use parameter argc. So, can I just hold argc like that? Okay, so run that and do it with seeds. And it doesn't do anything, so random. I think that's right then. Let me try going. Alright. That is something. So let me try also adding a glider. So just do glider. Alright, and what if I do seeds? Glider. Then it does that. Okay. So I think that is working then. Okay. That's pretty cool. Then let me do the V-brain. That, okay. That is actually kind of cool. Let me do the oscillator. Okay, yeah, just oscillates. And if I do it like that, there we go. So I think it's all working then. Alright, that's pretty cool. So one more thing, I'm going to add the help, and then I'm going to commit this. Yeah, so if compare flag is -h, then yeah, just usage. Okay, so if I build it, my main sees -h. It's not what I wanted to happen. So why did that happen? I think, let's see, what is this about flag? Let's do Elsa, because this can be Elsa. Oh, shoot. I think it's because of this. Yeah, so I need to get rid of this pinky. Let's see, does it still work? Okay, so that prints the dash up. Really, we want to be able to do that before this as well, but it just prints it out if you do that. So, it doesn't print it out. Let me print it out. Just print usage print. Okay, like that. Alright, there we go. So go, and it just does nothing. Let me not print them all out, though. Whoops, I'll mess that up. Okay, just like that. Okay, dash H, okay, or we can do dash R. Or we can do dash O, lighter. Okay, let's see what an oscillator does in game flow. Oh, it just does that. Okay, interesting. Yeah, because it actually sent it to invalid states, which is interesting. Yeah, I didn't even consider that, really. Let's see what seeds does. So actually, it dies out, but it does a similar thing to V-Brain. Okay, but you can see they're all clearly different. So let me actually commit this. It probably needs some cleaning up, but yeah. I need a few more automatons, and I need more feature complete. Command line buttons. Okay, so I can push that. There we go. And that hopefully worked. Okay, so my Wi-Fi is not dead right now, because that did work, so that's good. Alright. So, now, what do I want? What do I want? Let's see, what else can I do here? This could probably be cleaned up a lot, but this doesn't need to be that, so it can be just a one-line thing. It's still not great. I still think there's something with that. Okay, so have that then. That should work the same. Let's make sure. Yeah, okay. And this, I don't like this either. So those are some things that I need to do. Yeah, the default current state is that. Okay, that is that. Yeah, this is just initializing everything to 0. So this could probably even be in a structure. Yeah, that would probably make sense, actually. And what could be interesting, if I did make it into some sort of a 2D application, then while it's running, if you were able to change which one you're using, so for example, you have Game of Life running like this, and then you just press like L or whatever, and then it changes to seeds, something like that, and then you could just get any current state of that, and basically change it. I think that could be interesting. That could be something that is interesting. Maybe there is some more of these. Let's see, what other ones are there? So, what is this like? This looks a bit more complicated. Yeah, that is not. What is another simple one? How about rule 90? What is that like? Yeah, I think this one, yeah, okay, this is similar to the rule 110. Okay. So what is this like? Okay, this actually looks like something. Maybe. Maybe not. Okay. I just want the ones that are similar to Game of Life and such, which only considers the 8 neighbors around them and has a certain amount of states. And also is two-dimensional. What is this like? Alright, what are the rules for this? Meaning a dead cell becomes alive if it has that many neighbors, and a live cell remains alive if it has that many neighbors. Out of the 8 neighbors in the Moore neighborhood, it was invented. Alright, so that actually is pretty simple, it looks like. So I could try that day and night. So I just did that. Day and night. Alright, so this can either be alive or dead, so we only need 2. Okay, so a dead cell becomes live if it has 3, 6, 7, or 8. So, it's dead. 3, okay, so alive, 3. So then that's 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Okay, and then this one, replace dying with dead. Alright, like that. And then it is the same thing. Okay, no, it's 3, 4, 6, 7, or 8. So 3, 4, 6, 7, and 8. Okay, let's see. So I think that is it then. So I could try that. Day and night. So, let's see. So I can just add an else if here as well. Automaton. Input. Day night. Yeah, then you can just set it to that pretty simply. Automaton equals day night. But I need to actually add it here. Day night. Okay. Let's see. So then, day night, wait, and do this. Day night. Alright, so let's see. That should work then. Compile it and do name. Alright, day night. I didn't add it to the usage yet. Day night. Okay, it doesn't do anything. Random. So what does this look like? Okay. That might be a bit too noisy. It does look different than all the other ones, and I can make sure by testing the glider. So put a glider in there, and it does that, and it dies out. Okay. Also can test oscillator. Alright, and it just stays like that. So how do you get stuff like this? Spaceship stuff. Okay. Yeah, this is Conway's Game of Life. That's not me. Alright, this doesn't really show. Let me just do it random a few times and see what I can get from that. I think it is different, though. Probably destroying the bitrate, though. I feel like I should make it larger. Kind of just does that. So, yeah, I don't know. It doesn't have, like, the starting patterns, like some of the other ones did. But I did add that, so I can add it to the here. Alright, yeah, let's see what other ones are. I'm gonna try to add a few of them. Langton's ant, how is that? Very similar rules, but complex emergent behavior. Okay. Alright, this is not exactly what I want. That is not the same kind of thing. This is probably a similar thing to that as well. Yeah, that is kind of complicated, but okay. Linear, how about that? What is that? This is, yeah, that's not, no. No, Billy. How is that? Okay. Right, yeah, that is signal path, so that doesn't work the same. It's not based on neighbors in the same way. This probably works like rule 110. Yeah, it's like one-dimensional. So that's not what I want either. Termite. This could be. Okay. Okay. specification. All right. Yeah, this has the turning thing, so it's not. No, not what I want. Okay. That is like that as well. Wire weld. Is that possibly one? Maybe. Alright, there's 4 different states. Okay. Black, blue, red, yellow. Okay. Empty into empty. Electron head, electron tail, conductor, electron head. Okay. I could probably do that then. That does some interesting stuff. Makes like circuitry, right? Yeah, I think I heard of this one. Okay, so that has 4 states. Empty, so like dead. Might need... So, let's see. Then that can be dying, and then conductor. So we just need one more. Conductor. Conductor. And then I'll just add another thing to it, for that. Oops. Conductor. So, I'll just use, something like that. Sure. Let's see, I'm gonna try to do this. So, alright, so we have 4 total. Okay, so dead is empty. So empty becomes empty. Always, I suppose. Alright, and then this, electron head, becomes electron tail. Okay, so this first one, place dead with a lot. That's not what I want. Right here. Dead with a lot. Alright, so they always become alive. No, shoot. Alright, electron head is the alive state, so this is the next state after that, so it's not called the right things, but that's okay. So it becomes dying. Then this one becomes conductor, so that is the next state. Conductor, and replace Y with conductor as well. Okay, and then this last one gets more complicated. So, conductor, I can replace all of these with conductor. Okay. Alright, something like that. And then, if it has 1 or 2 of the neighboring cells are electron heads. Alright, so that is the alive. So that makes it a bit easy. Are electron heads, otherwise it remains conductor. Okay. So yeah, so 1 or 2. So it becomes electron head, which is alive. Okay, and this becomes alive. Alright. And I think that is pretty much it. And I don't need to change stuff because the alive state is what we use for that. So it should pretty much work there. This needs to become 4 though. So what if I try it now? We don't have a way to print it though, because I didn't add that actually, so I need to add that. So is conductor, then do this stuff. Conductor set. Alright, let's see if it compiles. Oh, it does not. So, because I forgot to change the name. So this needs to be called, what was it called? Wire World. Okay, Wire World. So I can add that here as well. I need to add that here too. Alright, let's see, I need to add that though. Okay, let's see. Let's compile. Wire World. Okay, yeah, I don't think that's really the proper way to initialize it. Maybe I'll just initialize it with like a glider and see what it looks like. So it does die out. It's okay. So instead of glider, shoot, because none of them are alive, but when I'm counting it, I don't count the other ones either. So maybe I could do, in here, this, do a lifetime plus plus also if it is like conductor or whatever, so I can see some more stuff. Okay, then it just gets stuff like that. So, if I put an oscillator, Alright, what are some patterns? Yeah, I think I'm going to have diagram. What are some patterns that I could place? So like this. Yeah, that'd be kind of complicated to do, because I don't have, like, a drawing ability. But it does construct logic gate. So, how can I initialize this exactly? Because they never become dead, because of the way it works. Um, mm-hmm. So, yeah, so I think I programmed it right. Let's see. So I could try to make this, but I don't know what the starting state is. Ba-bum. Yeah, maybe something like this instead. Yeah, but how does it, so does that wrap around that? So, perhaps. It does some cool stuff like this. Probably destroys the bitrate though, again. Alright, let me make it smaller. So just 20, whoops, 20 by 10. Let's see. Yeah, and then try to make one of those things. Let me add that to the usage as well. Okay, do that and run that, and there we go. So yeah, let me try to make this thing. So yellow is what? Yellow is conductor. So let me just do it first with conductor. So let me diode. Let's do void emit diode. So we don't really need an offset for this, because we'll start at 0. We'll go all the way to that, perhaps. Alright, so basically something like this, without the offset though. So maybe I don't even want to copy that. 0, 0, state equals conductor. So we'll start at that. We need, let's see, so I don't think I need this many. I think I can just do 3, then 2, then 3. So, 8. There we go. Okay, so conductor, and then I think we can start here. So red is electron tail, so that is dying. So that, let's see, the second one will be dying. And then the one right after that is the blue one, so that is alive. This can be conductor. Okay, and then this just needs to be, that needs to stay the same. And then you need to go to 1 and 2, and 3 here. We do need one more, actually. Or we need 4 more. Okay, so we have this one, which is that. And then we need the one right above it. So we can't really start at 0 for this. So this needs to be all 1, actually. And then this one needs to go to 2. It needs to be 0, actually. And then we need one that is 2. At 3 still. Okay. Then we need another one that is 2, but at 4. And then another one at 0, that is at 4. Okay. And then we need at 5, at 1 again. Okay. And then continue on 3 more. Alright. So let me try that. So init diode. I'm just gonna call that. Right, and let me see what happens. So I'm just gonna call it every time. I can add it as a parameter later. Okay, so that did not work. I might need to make it bigger. No, so it, did it not work? Let's see, 1, Let me add the conductor back here. No, I don't think that's what it is. No. Okay, so why does that, is it out of bounds? Should not be. But maybe I need to increase the size of this. So maybe I do need an offset. Can I place that? Alright, try that then. So I need to pass that then. 65. Shoot, it's because I initialized it after that, and then it all dies. So that is actually what the problem is. Need to do it right there. Okay, that was something. And it died out, though. So I think it needs to loop all the way around. So I kind of need to... let's see, I can just decrease the size of this. So this goes to 7, so what if I make it 8? That still doesn't work out. So it starts to go. I think I actually did it wrong. So they're not all supposed to be like that. So there's supposed to be one gap in there. So that is, yeah, so 0, 1, 2, 3. So the fourth one. Let's see, and there is no 4. Yeah, 4. Alright, so why is it like that? Why is it there? Or does it become that? Yeah, it does. Okay. So that is not good. No, actually, no. The third one. I don't want that. There we go. And now it does that. But I do want this one to go here. So I was reading it wrong. I like that. Okay. Then it goes back, actually. So I don't think that's quite right. That is interesting. But without that, it does act like that. Yeah, and it, like, loops around and everything. And it looks like this. So that's pretty cool. Okay, so I can add that as an optional parameter. So we have that, and I can add this here. So yeah, do the same thing, if not, dial. Dial. Okay. It's gonna be one liner as well. Like this. There we go. Okay. So yeah, and then I need to add diode. And also add it down here. Let's see. Yeah, diode. Diode. Okay. Something like that. And run it. I don't want to run it every time though. So I need to get rid of that. Fill it again. Alright, run this. And run -R. And it'll just do that. But if I do -O, I can pass diode. And there we go. We have that. So if I make it wider, I don't think it will work. Yeah, because it dies off. Because it needs to stretch all the way to the edge. So perhaps I could even do that. Just basically, in here, after this, we can have a for loop. Also, this is unsafe, because I'm not really checking boundaries or anything, but that's okay. Well, I don't think, wait. And yeah, just do this for the whole width. And actually start it at 7. There we go. And then it should go all the way around, I think. There we go, and it should work on any width. This will take a while, but... yeah, so I can also increase the speed. And there we go, it goes all the way around. Pretty cool. Alright. I can make that. Added, wire load, and bound. Cannot type. Okay, there we go. So now there's some pretty cool stuff. Okay. So I think the next thing that would make sense to do is to basically abstract it away, where we have a structure, which is just an automaton, which I already am using that. So automatons for that. I'm not gonna make this yet, but basically it would have options, which would just be an array of whatever the current size is. So like option size. And then it also has let's see what else. Has a random. Okay, and then it has the automaton that is being used, which is going to be automaton. So that is what that is for. And then just pass that around, and then can also change it. So maybe this should instead be what this is, basically, the current. So cur automaton, like that. And then you can set it, and then you can also change it, like basically in the middle of running, is what I'm thinking. Yeah. Let's see, does that all compile? Option size undeclared, so I could define that. Size. And let's see, so how many do I have? I have 1, 2, 3. So 3. Then does compile doing that. So maybe I could even make that. So automatons, which that's not a very good name, but yeah, automaton. I can call it that now. And I will just 0 initialize it. So all the things will be set to 0 by default. Okay. And then instead of using this in here, we would use automaton.that. So I think I will actually do that. After I take a quick break. So 3 minutes, I will be right back. Okay, I am back. So, yeah, let me try to implement this. So we don't need any of these. We do need the input still, because that is a string, and we aren't using it. We do need that one still. Okay. So, yeah, we set all this here, that is fine. And then here, instead of random, I want random. And then here, yeah, so maybe I should query replace this. Writer with automaton writer. Shoot. Nope, that doesn't work. Only 2 though, so you know, oops. Automaton. Okay. 1 moment. Alright, and then we have that don't need that. We can init that. Then instead of this, we don't have the current state. So automaton current state. Let me copy this so I don't have to type it out every time. Like that. Okay, something like that. Maybe a default, and I will just set it to go. Game reply. Okay, and this I actually need like automaton as well. Okay, just like that. So let me see what happens now when I build this. It does not work. This actually, I need to pass this here. Okay. So, passing argument 1. Alright, that doesn't exist, so I need to do this. Automaton. Okay. Build it. Unused variable. Why is that unused? Because we switch on it here, so... Shoot, okay. So yeah, this needs... Automaton, you know. Let's see, how do you spell it again? Okay, there we go. Oh, and then you need to do that down here as well. Alright. So, now that is not good. Automaton says no member named current state. Okay, so that's not what it's actually called. So... we need to replace current state with automaton. State with automaton. So automaton.automaton. Okay, now member named diode. Shoot, I forgot that I didn't do that. So let me just do that for now. And then I can face it later. So glider and oscillator. And then I will update it to use the array. Okay, so when all compiles, does it actually work? Go. Dash random. Okay, that looks pretty good. I can use glider. Ooh, that did not work. Glider did not work. So why did that not work? Let's see. Glider. That's not good. That actually worked. So why does just glider not work? Did I mess up the glider? Let's see. This is not right. This needs to be glider. That is what the issue was. I was not string comparing properly. There we go. And that's a glider. Okay. So that all looks good. Okay. So yeah. And then we can switch these. Can't really do it now. But that is set up for the future. Future possibility. So something else, I need to do it. Yeah, so I want this to be just an array of integers, option size. And I want to set it like that instead. So, so I said I could use a for loop for this. Would that be a good idea though? For, equals 0. RB plus I, so equal, no, I plus plus, and then do this. Do this by using the index in the array. Options I. Options I. But we can't really do the string compare. So that doesn't even. It's not. So I need to make like a map. So yeah, maybe this needs to be an array of another structure. So options, and this has a string, which is just the parameter, the argument. Yeah, and I'll just make it like 32, something like that. So I don't have to worry about allocating it and whatnot. Okay. Or I could just use a pointer and then I'm gonna initialize them with string literals anyway, so I think that should be fine. And then we also have the int, which is really as a boolean, essentially. And then this can be an array of options instead. Okay. And then we zero initialize it, and we use automaton.options I dot arg, and then this is I dot okay, something like that. See if it compiles. It does not. No member name oscillate. Yeah. So now I need to do this. So for 0, maybe it should even be function pointers instead of a value. That is interesting. I'm not gonna do that for now. And just do this for each one. Dot options I dot value. then shoot, I can't really do that. Yeah, so that is kind of why I need function pointers. Okay. So for now, I'm just gonna do this. 0, whoops, 0, 0, there we go. Then 1 and 2. And this one is oscillator, and this one is diode. Okay, where else does it go? No memory name option, so it's, it is options. So I actually, I did this wrong. There we go. Has no memory name diode, so yeah. Where am I checking that? I thought I got rid of this. No, I forgot to actually do that. But we don't set option now, so option equals RB plus I. Okay. Let's see. So that doesn't work. R equals 0. That is what I need to do. Okay, I need to do dot dot. Okay. Let me see if it works. Main game of life. What's that? Random. That works. Option, glider. And it breaks. Alright, so it did not work. So let's see. Maybe I messed this up. Shoot. No. Let me print. Print out the option. See what we get. I did not set them up. So that is why it does that. I forgot to actually initialize them. So when we initialize the structure, we need to do automaton dot options equals okay. Equals this, and then the value by default would be 0. But then this is going to be glider. Okay, we need 3 of these. So oscillator is the second one, and diode. Okay, something like that. I think I can do this. No, maybe not. Maybe. Do each one of these need to be cascaded? Oh, okay, so we can't assign two expression with array types. So that's not even gonna work properly. So we can make a new array though. Option size equals this, and we don't need that. And that should work. And then we can just meta copy. No, because this needs to be options. Okay. Unused variable, yeah. So then just meta copy automaton dot options size of option times option size. Alright, something like that. Yeah. Okay. And it just dies, so that is not good. That one works. So yeah, there is an issue with it. With the glider. I don't think I need these. Yeah, so why does that not work? On the glider, options 0. One, okay. I think I need to do. I think it needs to start at 1, but I can't really do that. So I need to do plus plus RB here, or just RB plus plus here. There we go. Okay, so then that one works. And so should diode. It should initialize one. But if I do it with wire, what's it called? Wire width. Doesn't work. So that one does not work. Oh shoot. The way I'm doing this is not right. Forgot to consider that. So this can really just be... well, that does not equal no. Where's RB? Okay. So... That's not gonna work either. So, maybe... let's see. If I do this, and then that, and also do... RB plus plus. Don't do this here. RB is not equal to... well, actually want while I is less than. I is less than option size. Or, and RB does not equal 1. Okay. You can set that each time to RB. IE computer is not used. I don't want to use it. That's a good one. I don't care if it's not used. I really just want to iterate it. So, I can always do that, actually. Then it doesn't complain about it. Yeah, okay. I think I can still do the plus plus, though. Alright. No. So it doesn't like the plus plus. Plus equals 1. So that's fine. Don't want warnings. Did not save it. Alright, let me run. One in the world. That shot, it does that. That showed that one. And we have a diamond. Okay. We'll put a glider here. It just dies. But it should work with Game of Life. Nope, and now that doesn't work again. Okay. Okay. So maybe I don't want to even do this. No. Really, I actually want to check this. So, what I want to do is that. Automaton. I dot arg equals 0. Do that. And then set this equal to 1. Okay. Then do that. Alright, that is how we do that, I think. Nope. It still doesn't work. Yeah, so now only the last one works. No, it doesn't work anymore. Yeah, okay, so I broke it all now. Because I still need to do this. No. So that's not it. Check that. Okay. This needs to be like that. The option is O. Even plus equals 2. Equals 1. That's plus. But we don't want to set it to that anymore. We don't want to iterate every time. That's why I did that. We get diode. And we can get what is the oscillator. Okay. And yeah, type anything here, and it seems to work. But what if I put more than one? Diode and glide. So we don't, yeah, because we return, so that doesn't work. And actually diode. And that's segfault, so that's not good. Let's print out diode though. Why does it segfault? Shoot. It's because of this. Yeah, so I think option gets Hmm. I don't think this works. Okay. And then bang. Okay, I'm gonna do wild one now. And yeah, I want to try it with diet. Okay, diet and a glider. And the glider did not work. We can do it with just a glider. We did do both of them, but then they died. Because they are actually initialized in the same place, so that probably won't work. Yeah, but that is pretty much working now. So that is what I wanted. Okay, yeah, because now it is just an array of objects, and we can easily add more to it by adding them here. Okay, so we do get the error though when I compile, or the warning. My computer is not used, so maybe I can just set argv equal to that. What if I do this? But I don't want the warning. Oh. Yeah, so that doesn't work. How can I iterate it? Just like that. No. Alright, oh, I get warnings, but it's not a big deal. Okay, so that's what I wanted to do. So that is pretty much it. What else can be moved out? So I need to do something about this. So instead of setting it like that, I could just immediately set it like this. So why would I not do that? I don't know. Yeah, that would make a lot more sense. Then we don't need the enum at all. Why was I doing it like this? Yeah, so howdy, how are you doing? Why are you going? Alright. Oh no. Here it is. Yeah, this makes a lot more sense. Why was I not doing it? Was there a specific reason? I don't remember. But yeah, pretty much, that's what I want to do. I can get rid of that entirely now, and get rid of this whole thing. And it's a lot better. And it still works. Alright, yeah, and I can presumably change it. Just decided to check out Vim, but I can't use a lot of its features. Because you don't know how yet? That is why you can't? Is that what you mean? Because your keyboard is an English QWERTY. Yeah, I guess that would make it a bit difficult. Yeah. There might be like a plugin though to change it, yeah? To use whatever your keyboard is. Because I know there's a lot of people that use what's that other one called? Like Dvorak or whatever? Still an English one, but it's a different keyboard layout. And I know a lot of people that use that, and I'm pretty sure they use Vim as well. So there might be like, so it maps to the same place essentially, right? There probably is. Vim is pretty popular. There we go. Yeah, so that works. Okay, and yeah, that's a lot better now. So I don't know why I wasn't doing like that in the first place. But now, I could also use an array for this. Similar to this. So maybe this doesn't even need to be an option, but it could just be like a map, essentially, instead of options. And I could make this same thing, but with function pointers. Do I need function pointers? Yeah, if I had function pointers to each one of these in there, and then this is like the corresponding thing, I could iterate through it. Don't even need to, well, yeah, iterate through it to find whatever is in there. I'll just put secrets. That won't exactly be helpful still, though, right? Because the point of it is like the specific layout is useful, right? Stickers would be easier though. Yeah, so let me look at the function pointer syntax again. Function pointer in C. So how could I define that? Yeah, so I can make another thing of options though. So I can do that first. Options, and this is gonna be what? So this is like the type. Sure. Type. And that is the type size. So I need to make that as well. And can initialize it the same way. Need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of them. Alright, so we have go seeds. Seeds, yeah. Day, night. Wire world. I forgot about brain. Okay. So, and then the next value is just whether it is true or false. Is that how I want to do that? Yeah, and then basically I want to iterate over it. No, the next value needs to be a function pointer, so I can't really use the option. So I need another one. And this is just the type. And instead of a value, I want function pointer. So how can I define that? Can I define it like that? Void unfiltered. And it doesn't have any arguments, so I don't think I need that. And just set this. Can I do that and set it to go seeds brain day night and wire. Okay. So else usage. So yeah, I still want that else usage, but if I get rid of that now, does it compile? Type size undeclared. So first of all, I can declare that. So yeah, whenever I add more, I need to iterate this as well. Unless there's a better way to do that. But for now, I want type size 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5. Okay, build that. Expected that before my promise. So I forgot that when I press the $ key combo, breaks literally breaks. When I press the $ key combo, breaks long, literally unplayable. When you press in Vim, you mean? To jump to the end of a line? Semicolon there. Alright. Yeah, so that is not an int. Shoot, I forgot to change this to... Okay. Unused variable type. Alright, so I don't use it, but I think it works. Because it's not Shift 4, but Alt F4. Oh! That's kind of funny. That's pretty fun. That is unfortunate placement. Okay. Then I want to set the automaton equal to whatever is in here. So right now I'll just iterate over it. That's the type size. And if string compare type I dot what is it called? Dot arg was 0, and I need to actually also have let's see, automation info. So this yeah, this needs to actually go down here a little bit more. Right there. Okay, equals 0. Then yeah, then we want to set the current, which I don't have that, I don't think. Let's see, where is that at? Current. No, it's in the thing actually. So yeah. Automaton equals type dot oh shoot, I didn't name this anything. Can you assign that to a variable? Ah, shoot. Actually, that might not work. Instruct. So, let's see. Type that in. That's not what I want. Instruct, yeah. Okay, so we need to define it like that. So, oops. Type that. Void What is operation? Unpointed is unpointer pointer. Can I do that? Yes, then I need to set it here. Type fun pointer. Or just pointer. So that doesn't work. So I need to actually do that. I need to do actually this. Okay. Then it is dot. Okay, that is not spelled, right? Automaton input. Okay, does that work then? Main apply. Okay. Seeds dash R. Okay. Swell. Dash O glider. Okay, and if I change it to glider again, then the glider doesn't work. Alright, so that actually did work. And that is more concise. But I do now do the same thing twice. So what I can do is actually find in map. Shoot, but that doesn't work because they're not the same thing. Yeah, so maybe that isn't gonna work. That's okay though. It's not that much, just really iterating through it. If not that. Okay. Now it works. I just don't like those warnings. How can I suppress them? I don't think that works. Yeah, now does it still work? Maybe it does. Okay, I guess that did work. So let me just add a comment. So void suppresses the unused calculation void. Okay. And then also up here I have this, just because it's not very clear necessarily what it's doing. This one might be more clear, but void suppresses unused void. Okay. Yeah, just to make it clear what's going on. So that's pretty cool then. So now we're using function pointers for that. So yeah. Then to add more, I just need to add one to there. And that's it, really. Now I need the if automaton dot automaton equals null. Yeah, then I want to usage. With the usage. Okay, will that work? Okay, yes, there we go. So that's what I want. And then go, and it is not. Alright, perfect. So that's pretty good then. Yeah, this is pretty usable, and there's quite a bit of customizability. Yeah. So text, okay, and it's pretty easy to add more. Those are kind of dirty. Could probably make them better using a for loop. It's just, it's easier to do it like that for now. Okay, this, what is this about? Print grid, that's fine. Yeah. Could that even be a map? Okay, I'm not gonna worry about that now. Okay, that's good. That is just counting them in there. Yeah, so to add more, I just need to basically add it here with all the rules, and then update it right here. And that is it. So let's see if there's any other ones. I don't think so. I think I went through them all. All the ones that were listed here anyway. And I implemented the ones that seem to work. So I will actually make these changes. Let's see. Clean things up in the code to be more efficient. Okay. Pretty cool. So, alright. Yep, that worked. So, let's see. What is the goal now? So that looks pretty cool. Yeah, so I'm thinking to make it some sort of a 2E application. So basically, it would come up like this, and then you could type in different commands to do stuff. So you could set, maybe, you set the width from here. So instead of passing it all here, you start it up. It starts just as a blank thing, and then you can type like game of life or whatever. Hit enter, and it would do that. I think to do that though, you need to set a terminal to raw mode, something like that, and I'm not sure exactly how to do that, because then that lets you type or whatever without interrupting stuff. I don't know exactly how it all works, because I've never done that before. This actually did some really interesting stuff. Yeah, this looks really cool. I have raw mode code. You do. For C? How difficult is it? I mean, I can just look up how to do it, really. It's not. Let's see. C terminal raw mode. Yeah, just like this. Yeah, probably not in there. Maybe this is something. Terminals raw. Yeah, something like that. That one isn't one that's kind of explaining how it works. Raw. Yeah, let's take a look at this. Okay. Terminals. So is that a built-in thing? I could find out. Is that just like... Yeah, it's not. So you have to install that or in link with it, or how does it work? Maybe there is. Where did it go? There we go. A build script, a makefile. Yeah, I never really learned how to read these, but I think there should be something that says library. You missed what? Oh, did I? Oh, whoops. Okay, how is it spelled? Term IOs. Okay. Alright, there we go. Yeah. Thank you, my bad. Okay. So all this other stuff is built in. Except that is just like from here, but okay. So yeah, let's see the begin raw, stop raw. Okay. So TC get adder. Okay. Set these flags. Yeah, so I don't know what they mean exactly, but I could look them up. Begin raw and read keys. So where's read keys? Where's that defined? That might be defined in a different one. Oh, it's right here. Okay. So yeah, this is just for that. So I don't need to really worry about that. So it's really just the begin and stop raw. Okay. So I'm not gonna do that now, but I will, yeah, I'll probably start this so I can remember it. Thank you for that. Okay. Yes. This is also a text editor. That's pretty cool, actually. I should take a look at that. But yes. I'm not gonna do that now. But that is a future thing. Because soon I'm probably gonna have to end the stream. So I'm just gonna clean some things up and think about things. But yeah, I'll probably do that. That's not really something I've done before, and I think it could be a fun project. Yeah, so just sort of you start it like that, and that's it, instead of passing on these parameters. And then let me think about how it would work. So you run it, and then yeah, so you type in the name of the one you want to do, and it does that, or you type random, and it will set it to random. And that would allow you to switch in between them. Yeah, you could type a glider to just spawn a glider. Maybe you do glider space, the position of it even. That could be interesting. Yeah, this actually got stuck. Yeah, I think that could be cool. Let's look at seeds. Sounds pretty interesting. Goes kind of crazy. Probably actually destroys the bit rate a lot. Perhaps if I zoom in some more. It's kind of hard to see it though. What is the other one called? Yeah, this one looks pretty cool, I think. Ooh, that actually did an interesting thing. Are they going to collide? They might collide, actually. Maybe not. Looks like they are just able to not collide. Very close, though. I feel like they will eventually, but maybe not. I think it's in a loop, actually, so I don't think it will. Okay, maybe not. That's kind of cool how it did that, though. Yeah, this one's cool. I like this one the best. The Wire World one is cool as well, though, but you need to initialize it with stuff. It can't just be random. Oh, well, it can, but you know what I mean. Uh-huh. Alright, yeah, so let me see what else. So, yeah, all this is fine, really. That's just the loops. So, yeah. So to set that, that's going to make it a bit more complicated. To set the height and width from within the application. So I don't know if I'm going to do that. Let me make it bigger. Yeah, that's probably really bad for the bitrate, but it looks very cool. Okay. Well. So. Alright, I'm getting distracted. Yeah. So I don't think I use this anymore. Yeah. Alright, yeah, so I didn't need that. Do I still need this? Cell. Do I use cell? Oh, yeah, I do. That is for that, actually. So I do need that. Current. I need that. I need the state. I'm trying to remove unused stuff, because I did get rid of some stuff that I was using. So, all these, I still want these, but I could clean them up a lot. Okay. I could have a list of flags as well, like in the map, in a similar way to how I do this. I could do that. And just use a for loop over it. And then it'd be easier to add more. And if it's just a function pointer as well, yeah, if it's just a function pointer, then the function pointer can be whatever this is. That could be interesting. So, yeah. This can go at the top, really. I don't think it should go down here. Okay. This should just be a function pointer too. Why am I doing that? Yeah. So, instead of a value, it could just be that. And then if we encounter it in here, we can't really just call it though, because we have this init grid that happens there. So that's why that won't work exactly. Yeah, so that's why I was doing it like this. Okay. Because that would just override it if we init the grid. But maybe if I modify the init grid, I could do that. Where basically if it's not already alive, then set it to dead. I could do that. But then the random won't work. Yeah. I don't know, I'll have to think about that. Okay. So, maybe I can even, maybe I don't even need that though. I don't think I do. Maybe just let me type it out multiple times. Okay. But I should be able to, well, they overlap, so that's why it doesn't work. But it does still seem to work. So if I use wire world, yeah. Alright. So that still works then. Okay. Yeah, so that's better then. Because I did not need that extra check. So, Could I make this better too? Okay, well, I think that's fine. Yeah, so that is probably going to be about it. So I can just, didn't change them, but basically just, yeah. Basically just remove unnecessary, can't spell, but that's okay, check from class. Okay, push that. Okay, yeah, so that's gonna be pretty much the end of the stream. I can update the readme and then I'll end the stream. Because, it's more than that now. So, it's still called Game of Life, like GOL. I probably won't change that, unless I think of something that's good. But yeah, basically, this is just, implementation of different cellular, that's not right, in C. I think I need that. Okay, implementation of different ones. So, let's see, we have, Game of Life, seeds, Brian's brain, not Brian's brain, Brian's brain. My oh my, I've been using Vim all the time. Turns out that's not a problem at all with Neovim. What do you mean? Oh, you mean your problem is not a problem at all. With the keyboard? So the keyboard just works with that? Is that what you mean? Alright, what is the other one? Let's see, so I have day and night and wire world. Okay. This is implementations. This needs to be like that. Okay. And I can add a quick start as well. Yeah, you can just use it in Neovim. That is good. Neovim is pretty cool. Yeah, pretty cool. SH, and then name. I can actually copy the usage that I have in here. Yeah, I do have to update the usage every time, so that's maybe not ideal. I could do some stuff with that, but basically I can just copy this. There we go. Yeah, that's all the possible parameters. And the dependencies, is, I am using GCC. Yeah, GCC. Okay, GCC. And that is it. That's all it is. So maybe this should be good. No, that's fine. Okay. Yeah, so. Okay. Did not work. There we go. Yeah. So that's not super clear, but I'm going to be getting rid of it once I implement the 2e stuff. So I think it's fine. Yeah. I want this to be line breaks. I'm not going to change it now though. Okay, so that's going to be it. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.